Hello, Flosstube. Excuse me. Drinking a lovely beverage. Um, Hello, welcome to you all, to those who are subscribers who are returning. Thank you very much. If this is your first time here, I'd welcome you uh, to the channel and hope that you would subscribe and ring the notifications bell, and so you'll see when I every time I release a new update, which is typically every Saturday at some point or another. It's just depending on what's going on. I was actually going to do an update earlier this morning, but my sister and I were out running a few errands, and it got very hot, and it was afternoon, and it was just like I was eating a little bit of lunch, and I'm kind of dripping sweat. I'm very hot. So it took me a while to cool down. So my update is a little later than I was thinking I was going to do. Anyway, so we were out running around, and so I'm doing my update now. So if you like what I do today, I'd welcome you to subscribe, and we'd see each other every week. So okay, the first thing I want to talk about, because before I forget, is this a little frog with a skateboard and a Dutch drink. Uh, if you might not have a Dutch in your neighborhood, but they do. Like it's like a Starbucks, only different. um, but yeah, so they were giving away. They give away like charms and stickers and things like that. I have a pin somewhere that I got. I keep forgetting it's like buried in my purse or something. But this little frog, they had like five different frog charms or whatever. Um, and yeah, so this is, I think it's like the name is like Gotta Shred or something like that. It's talking about shredding because of the skateboard. Anyway, it was very cute. I thought, well, the frog is very appropriate. So yeah, he has a little string, so I could attach him like a scissor fob or to a bag, my one of my bags or something like that. I haven't decided where I'm going to put him exactly, but for now he's in my bag. Um, and speaking of frogs, I had to do some frogging today. I mean, this past week, I was ugh, frustrated, but it's all fine. So this week I was working on WIPGO. I did a little patriotic stitching, and then I'm preparing to do my two new starts as part of WIPGO, right? Because I have a whip and a new start for each square. So I've done the whips for the month of June, but I have not done the new starts yet, which I'll be doing probably this week, maybe today. I don't know. Anyway, so my number 21 whip, I did the number 12 last week. I finished it, the elf, Our Favorite Elf by Teresa Kogut. It's just big fat Santa Claus, chunky Santa Claus. And this is Festive Forest by Jeannine McGowan of the Blue Flower. So this is the uh, what it's supposed to look like. It's what we call the muffin design, and you stitch these 6 panels and finish it in the round and stuff it like a kind of like a biscornu. So these little points, I've talked about this before. They come together to make that little uh, top. And so this is where I am now. So these two segments, I finished last time I worked on it. So this time, this was I think I had started on the outline last time before this thing came around. I think I had just gotten. I think I had done this side. I'm not sure. I mean the other side. um, yeah, I think I had done all or part of these. I think I don't know, but so I did everything else here today. This flower thing I did completed, and this flower thing. Although I had to redo this lower segment. because when I finally got around to doing this little stem thing, I got over here and I realized, oh, this is in the wrong place. I had, because they're supposed to be, you know, just one stitch, one diagonal in between them, and I had miscalculated somehow. I don't know. My brain, you know, diagonal stitching like that, if there's not something there, it's easy for me to just put it in the wrong place. So I had to take this out. But also, when I started doing this side of this tree, I realized that this thing was completely wrong, this whole segment. So I had to redo that. And then behind all this is a rump, an elk rump. Here's his legs down here, and his chest, his ear, his eye, his nose is down here, and this is his antler. So I had done the nose. It was easy to do because there's just a few black stitches and a few gray stitches on the end of this green, you know, on the end of this tree. And so then I thought, oh, well, I'll just, you know, as long as I'm doing the black, I'll put his eye in. Or not black, it's the 3371, very dark brown. So I thought I'll put in his eye, and there's some gray, you know, stitching or stuff around his eye, and then his ear is right here. So I did all that, and I miscalculated. So when I was going to put his antler in, I realized the ear and the eye were in the wrong place, and so I had to take them out. My little frog. I had to take them out, and I put it in the antler, and then I put the ear and eye back in. So I'm hoping that all this other stitching is in the right place. But yeah, so because I finally did this, I was able to do this green. This is the divider between the two segments, but I couldn't put it. I didn't want to like count from here, you know, and risk miscounting or anything. So, hopefully it's all right. It should all be right. But the elk, I did a little bit of his face here. It's hard to see on camera, but it's that grits, Weeks Dye Works grits color, which is an off-white color. But his whole body, from this is his rump and this is his nose, so it takes up both segments here. As a matter of fact, it's right in the picture here. This big elk, and so I have very little grits. I have like a few strand, a few clumps, you know, the 6-strand things. I have you know, part of the latter half of a card, a Weeks Dye Works, you know, skein. 2 different, you know, pieces, things like that. So probably if it was all put together, it would make the better part of a full skein. But I have a lot of it to use on this Festive Forest, and it's used extensively in at least one the Worthy Patriot that I was working on. I haven't gotten to that part yet, but I will soon because it's, you know, it's used in the eagle, the bald eagle that's in part of that design. But anyway, so I need to get at least one more skein, and probably 2 just to be on the safe side of that. But anyway, so I did my 7 days on Festive Forest, and so I don't know if I'll get back to it later on this month. I might. It just depends. I think I'd have to get more of the grits. And I'm also running low on Classic Colorworks Sticks and Twigs. I think it's used somewhere else. Somewhere I saw that I needed it for something, and I just have a little bit left. So that's another one I need to look at to get more of. So, like I said, I said before, all I have left to do are my 2 new starts for my WIPGO stuff. So one of them is a Night Owl by Stitchy Prose. Did I say that that Festive Forest is Blue Flower? Yeah. So this is Stitchy Prose Night Owl. This is part of the Stitch the Rainbow set from last market, not this past market, but last one, which was Night Garden. This one. So I have the threads, you know, from this. I did one or two other things that use this color palette. So this is one of my new starts, and also my other new start is this Merry and Bright mice. This is a free pattern by Primrose Cottage. The designer is Lindsey Waite of Primrose Cottage. So these little mice decorating a tree. So I think I talked about this before. I dyed some fabric, and so one of them is going to be. I have this kind of maroonish. It looks more purple on screen, but it's more like a maroon color. That's hard to see. It's like a. Yeah, it's a little red. It's redder, and this color is more purple. It looks like a dark blue, a shade of blue, but it's purple actually. And then I have these two. I think that this one is Lugana, and the others are even weave. But so I have these two blues. So, and they're all about the same size, about 14 by 18, and they're all 28 count. And these are all dyed by me. So I'm gonna pick some of those colors. I have the Night Garden palette. I wanted something not beige because the Merlot thread color that I have from that Night Garden palette would not, stand out at all on a neutral or beige kind of background. Like here, like the picture, the Merlot color is like the color of that branch that the owl is sitting on, and in this picture, it shows up pretty well. But my skein of Merlot is more beige than yellow. Like it looks very yellow in this picture, but like I said, my skein is more on the beige side, and on a neutral beigeish background, it would not show up at all. So I'm probably, because of the night owl pattern, I'm probably going to go with one of these purpley colors. And again, there's another some other colors that are darker that I want to do more of a floss toss kind of idea. And there's like a green and a dark, almost it looks like a dark blue. It's called Concord Grape, but it's blue to my eye. And then the Merlot, and then there's a kind of I think a bluish color. Anyway, so I'm going to make sure that they all stand out well on these fabrics. And then the Merry and Bright Mice, I think I'm going to do on the other. So, so I have these colors to choose from. I haven't totally pinned it down, but I'm going to look and see. The Primrose Cottage, the Merry and Bright Mice uses, I want to say Weeks. Is it Weeks or is it? Yeah, Weeks Dye Works colors. And so again, I want to do a floss toss just to make sure that I'm not, choosing any fabric that the colors are going to disappear on. So, but it should be. It doesn't use very many colors. I think the Merry and Bright Mice uses 4 or 5 colors, and black and white. It calls for like B5200 and 310. So along with 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 Weeks colors. So neither of them is very big. So I'm hoping maybe I might the Night Owl I might finish this just in the 2 weeks that I have, because or is it a week? Maybe it's 1 week. Because again, these Stitch the Rainbow things are not they're deliberately just a certain, I think 50 by 50 or 60 by 60 or something like that. So so it's not very big, and there's a lot of as you can see on this pattern, a lot of negative space that's not stitched. So I may be able to finish it. I don't know. And the Merry and Bright Mice is a little bit larger, but it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Anyway, so that's my new starts that are waiting in the wings, and I'm going to do at least a couple of days on each of those, I think. But in the meantime, for Flag Day, which was the 14th last weekend, I did a little bit. I went ahead and started this Barbara Anna Long May She Wave is the name of it. I got this, I think, at the attic a while ago. I think it's an older pattern. It's been out for a while, I think. But I was looking for something, some patriotic things for the 250th anniversary, the semi-quincentennial. I can say it wrong. Semi-quincentennial. Half of 500. 250th. But anyway, so I started this, and I've done just a little bit of where I've done the 17 and the little dot dash whatever, and I just did a little bit of this blue around it, finished off a hank of the thread, and then I did this brown outline. There's a darker brown outline around the edge of the eagle, around the bottom of this segment. And I think I ended with the eagle. I didn't do the other side here. But I did a start on this, and I did a couple of days. I think I went to as far as Tuesday, just because I was in the middle of, of the line, and I wanted to finish this eagle outline. So again, this is like a blue around this, and I like a stitch this brown, and there's some of the there's like a blue star and a white star and a red star down here, and then there's a lighter color to fill in the eagle and these little swirlies, and then on his chest right here on the eagle is he has red, white, and blue like a little shield, and then his white head, of course, and all that. So, but anyway, so I did 2 days and a little bit longer on this. This is Long May She Wave, and this is, I meant to talk about this fabrics. This is like I think it's a 32 count linen. This is the same fabric. I think I talked about this before. This is the same fabric I used for the Year in the Woods animals. It's just dyed blue instead of green. But anyway, so that's Festive 4. So this is 32 count. Is it 32? I want to say it's 32 count Belfast linen. Yeah, in the sort of natural color. So it's just it's not modeled or anything like that. It's just a natural colored linen, 32 count Belfast, 2/2. So yeah, it's very nice to stitch with. It's very even and very nice to stitch with. Then also, let me move this out of the way because I don't want to have a crapple inch. Then I also stitched on Worthy Patriot just a little bit, last night, we filmed our Three Sisters Creative video last night because Naomi had, oh jeez, sorry, my coaster stuck to the bottom of my cup and I just dropped it on the floor down there. But so my sister Naomi had today free and didn't, had some running around I think she wanted to do, or maybe not running around that she didn't want to have to do. So we filmed last night, and I forgot why I was saying that. Oh, so I worked on Worthy Patriot last night. And then my sister and I are attending a couple of stitching groups, crafting groups, excuse me, let me get this. Sorry, it's my forehead. I thought I could reach it, but I can't. She and I have been attending a couple of sessions at the library out here, They have a crafting group that meets every Friday. And then another one of the ladies there told us about another group that meets on Thursdays at a local HOA community center. And it's kind of nice because that way, like I think is it this Friday, I think, or next, anyway, sometime like in July, we have a couple of doctor's appointments on Friday mornings at the same time as this crafter group, but we would be able to go on Thursday. So, we have the 2 days. We could either go both days like we did this week, or one day or the other, just depending on, our schedule and all that. So it's kind of nice because, um, you know, uh, there's overlap in the two groups, and but it's nice that we can get together with either group and just we just stitch and chat. Some people are doing crochet and some are knitting and some are doing cross stitch, and so yeah, it's just a nice group of ladies that get together. And matter of fact, yesterday uh, one of the ladies brought some little kind of like crackers that she made out of, like, I think it was like sourdough, like a sourdough bread mix, but she had just made crackers and put herbs and stuff like that in them, and they were very yummy. Um, but yeah, so it's kind of it's a fun group. Uh, Fun to get together with these ladies and see whatever. One lady yesterday, Friday's group. She had just finished while we were sitting there. She finished knitting a little dress for her great grandchild, and it was just really pretty, very pretty, like fall colors, a variegated yarn. So it had a little kind of a yoke thing on the top, and then just a real pretty dress segment. And anyway, it was really nice. So yesterday when we were there, I was working on Festive Forest yesterday, Thursday and Friday, I think. Did I work on it both days? Anyway, but yesterday when we were filming our video, I worked on Over the Patriot. Ooh, sorry. And I worked on a little bit more this morning, but so yeah, I'm working on this corner up here. So there's like this little kind of circular, like wreath leafy thing here, and then this border. So I've done the border, which is, I think it's black. It's 310, I think. So, let me look at my shirt here. No, it's mascara. Week Star Works mascara on this long border here. And I actually went, started to go down the border, but because I wanted to, I started in the upper left-hand corner up here, which is where I usually start. And I did, across here, there's some little gaps here, and then I think, yeah, I went like as far as like I think the middle, and then I went down this side, and I hit, I didn't do any more of that. I just like went down and kind of like stopped around here, and I had like just a thread hanging off of there because I didn't want to have to move the hoop yet. I wanted to work up here more. So then I started working on this wreath thing, and I haven't done any of the there's little clumps of berries here or whatever. I haven't done any of those. I've just done the leaf and the thing, you'll see. But so this is Worthy Patriot. I don't know how long it's going to take me. I don't know. But this is by Plum Tree Samplers, as you can tell. A Worthy Patriot. And this is really a neat design. A lot of people have talked about it. I really, and yeah, I got all excited about it. So one of the things I did, I wanted to encourage you all to sign up for the next virtual event, which is Midsummer Stitch. Yeah. But when I did the last one, the Spring Mingle, I ordered some things, and this little card was included, and this is for the Midsummer Stitch, July 18th and 19th. The tickets are on sale right now, so yeah, I think the link is in my description box. But she included this little card, and it has the little project thing, and so I filled it out yesterday when I was working on this. So I started Worthy Patriot on the 31st. The fabric dyer is Picture This Plus, and the fabric color is called Gaia, Gaia. and it's 36 count. The floss dyers, the floss used is Closet Colorworks, DMC, Weeks Dye Works, and I think one color of Jeannine. And yeah, so there's, you can put all kinds of stuff on there. So I went ahead and did it for Worthy Patriot just for fun. So this goes like this. I'm going to put this back here. So yeah, like I said, I did a little bit of this mascara color, and I just stopped. There's a little piece of thread hanging off of the end of this because when if I ever get around to moving this hoop, I'll be stitching more on that. But so I had started on this. I had done, I think, a couple like 3 leaves or 2 leaves or so, whatever, before. But so I went ahead and went around and finished the little curly Q, and then I have a couple more leaves, I think, to do here to finish this. And then there's, the eagle in the middle, I think, or a couple of, not eagles, doves. Yeah, there's a dove on this side, and then a middle sort of flag thing, and then another dove, and it repeats on the other side. But so, yeah, so and this is 1/2, using all those different kinds of threads. I think this is Weeks, and I think this is Classic Colorworks Pine Needle. Yeah, these 2 colors. So, yeah, so I'm just, just doing a little bit at a time. And Sunday is Father's Day. And I think I do have To My Dear Father, which is one that I've been working on. I just do a few days. I do like my dad's birthday and things like that. So Father's Day is another day when I work on it. I'm going to work on it. But I also want to do. I have an Abraham Lincoln tribute thing called Stand Firm, and that's by, who's it by? I can't think of the name of the designer right just off the top of my head. I have my patriotic bag here. So Stand Firm is this one here, Sweet Wing Studio. That's who it is by. Yeah, so sorry about the glare. I don't want to take it out of the bag because I have all like threads and stuff stuffed in here. But yeah, so this is a tribute to Abraham Lincoln. So it has all the Lincoln motifs. I talked about this before. So I'd like to do this also. I'd like to start it on Father's Day. I don't know why it resonates for me to do Father's Day for that. And then the other patriotic thing I have is Stitching with the Housewives, Salmon Liberty. I don't know exactly what day I'm going to start that on, but I'd like to do it also this year. So, yeah, I've sort of tried to find, fabrics and threads for those. We'll see. I don't think, did I decide on a color? I don't know. I may have decided on a fabric for the Abraham Lincoln one. I'm not sure. Anyway, so really, well, all I've stitched on is Festive Forest, Long May She Wave, and Worthy Patriot, those 3. And I'm going to start my new starts. I really am. In the next couple of days. If not this weekend, for sure Monday. So, and get those done. And is it, it's already the end of, tomorrow is the 21st. So I think I just have 1 week. 1 week and a couple of days of June left. Yeah. So, like I said, I'm hoping to get my new starts off the ground, and then I've got a few days to play with to do, a little bit of this and that. And then in July, of course, is more cross-stitch camp, and I'm doing Freedom Block for that. I'm doing all patriotic things. Well, no, this month I did autumn owl etching because it was stitched something from a magazine, so that was one thing I did. But so for July and August, I'm Freedom Block, stitch something patriotic or whatever, and then Glory in the Wind is what I'm doing in August, and that is Stitch Something New to You, and that's a new designer from, So yeah, so I have my all my those aspects of my summer stitching set up. So anyway, I think that is all I have going on. Um, I think that's it. Anyway, so let me know if you're doing anything patriotic, if you're participating in cross stitch camp. It's really a lot of fun. You don't have to, you don't have to, if sign up anywhere officially, and you don't have to buy anything, pay for anything. It's all just whatever. Whatever the challenge is, and the idea is, of course, that you start on the first of the month and finish by the end of the month, the 30th or 31st, depending on the month. And of course, you don't have to. There's no cross stitch police, but it's just a fun way to do something for a new prompt for the summer to get you give you something to do, something to work on if you don't already have them. But because this is the 250th anniversary, sorry, uh, it's a good excuse to do all kinds of patriotic stitching. I didn't realize my T-shirt was all bunched up. To do some patriotic stitching. If, like me, you don't normally do that sort of thing, it's not that I don't like patriotic stitching. I'm not necessarily drawn to it, specifically. But like some people love to do all kinds of red, white, and blue, Americana stitching or whatever, and so I found myself thinking about it more because it is the 250th anniversary. So anyway, and then of course I've got I couldn't decide what I want, so I've got everything. I've got a whole bunch of things. But anyway, so that's what I'm getting up to in the next several days and in the next week. And so next week I should see you. It'll be the 27th, next Saturday. Um, yeah, so we'll see where we are. Until then, I guess, um, yeah, that's all I have right now, and I will see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.